How you doing, guys? This is Joe with LVV. So we're at a job today. We have this airflow machine, gas-fired furnace, and the gas valve over here keeps on sputtering and shutting off. Another thing which is happening is it's overheating, and that sensor back there that one back there is opening up, which is the main auxiliary limit. Okay. It's getting too hot and it's shutting down. It's getting over 180 degrees. I tried adjusting this valve here, which is this. You take this cap off over here. It's only one adjustment, and it adjusts the outlet pressure. Now you're supposed to be running at 3.5 inches of water column. It's running around 3.7, 3.8. So it might be overfiring, then overheating, and then shutting down. When I tried to adjust it down, and when I got it close to 3.5, it starts to sputter and the gas valve shuts down. The inlet pressure is like 6.8, which is fine. It says the minimum is 5.0. So we're gonna take this gas valve out. We got the new one right over here in the box. So we have to take this whole assembly out. We have to take these two screws out over here on the bottom. Unscrew first this pipe. Hold this with the wrench, unscrew this here, take out the union, just spin this whole piece. All right, to take the one pipe out. Then we take the whole assembly out, replace the valve, put it back in, and slap this right back in there. I'll get you some pictures and some video. I'm just waiting to see it fluttering, because I have my, I got my, if you can see, I got my meter showing 24 volts right now. And then when it sputters, I want to make sure that there's no electrical issues. I did this before, but I'm just going to double check before I rip the whole thing apart. I want to see that it still has 24 volts while the gas closes. If that's the case, then it's a bad gas valve. If there's no interruption. If there is an interruption and the voltage goes before the flame, then it's an electrical issue. Or maybe the over limit tripped or something like that. So we got to see. All right, we'll get you some more video. So David's taking the union off. Keep going. What you do is you hold that inside thread, and then you're gonna unthread this here. Of course, you're gonna shut the gas valve off. You always smell a little bit of gas because there's a little bit of gas in the pipe. Take this off. There you go. Okay, and just always be careful, guys. Look over here, because you see this pipe is kind of flexible and it goes down over there. So we're gonna have to just support it. Okay. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out. Now we can take this pipe out over here. We freed it up, so we have this wrench on this gas valve. So because you don't want to twist all this up. Okay, this is your gas supply. Okay, so you want to make sure that this doesn't move. This gas valve, this thing torques and twists. Okay, if this twists up, it'll ruin your the gas supply going into the unit. Okay, so we have to hold this here, and then with the pipe wrench, we're going to turn this. With this whole thing is going to turn. We'll take that one out, unscrew a couple of screws, take out some of the over limits if they're attached or anything like that. Take the whole assembly out. All right, and then after that, we're going to change out the valve. So push the opposite here and turn. Here, how's that for me? They might have put it in super tight. Okay. Let's use the big guy. Hold this still. Of course, this electrical box is probably going to be in the way. would it not be in the way, right? Alright, so we'll have to take that out before we're able to move this. Of course, look, someone puts a box in the way. Beautiful. Alright guys, so we were able to move this. All they had was a zip tie right here, connected right down there. So I just took my dikes out, cut that away so we could move this a little bit. It gave us just enough space to be able to take out that pipe. And of course, you know, this really should be mounted. So we're gonna mount this over to the side over here so that if there's any service that needs to be done, take out the gas valve, do anything, that it's not gonna be in the way. All right, or at least if we screw it here, all right, you can unscrew it and then slide it down. But I think we're just gonna keep it right over here, okay? The wire's not gonna go anywhere because you have this over here, it's screwed in there. It should be totally fine. But we really should have a connector. I think we might put a connector right over here, just so the wires don't scratch up and then create a short. So we got this out. We're going to take this gas valve out, take the chamber out now. All right, guys, so we took out 2 screws up top, 2 screws at the bottom, cut the dikes. All right, we're gonna take out the ground. The electric's off, right? Yeah, electric's off. So, good question, but the door is open. The door is open. The door switch is open, so there's no power coming in. There you go. So now you're just gonna pull this out here, slide it down. You're gonna have to just be careful with the wires. You can go upside down now if you want. Go upside down. Just keep twisting it like this. And now, hold on. Just make sure it's not caught in each. Okay. That's it. Okay. And that's how you could take out the gas assembly. Take off the 2 leads for the gas valve. Just like this. And grab it right there. All right, and then you have the gas assembly out. Okay, we're gonna change it out for a brand new Honeywell, and then we'll show you how to put it back in. All right, guys, so we have to take this gas valve off. The way you do that is you put the wrench on one way. Okay, we're gonna be pulling this down, so you have to put the monkey wrench one way, and then you're gonna come straight down. Now we cracked it already, so now we're just gonna turn. And this thing was on fairly tight, so you could use the leverage of the ground to be able to do this for you. Okay, so you crack it with it on the ground, and that makes it much easier than trying to hold it with your hands. All right, they actually have a tool in at the supply house where it's just like this, where it's like a pipe wrench built into like this little I don't know, this little bracket, and you put it in there, and then you just pull down with your wrench, and it cracks it. It's perfect. All right, I wish I invented it so I wouldn't be up in an attic right now. All right, but that's the way you're gonna crack this over here. All right, guys, so we got the pipe off the, we got the gas valve off the pipe. We blew it out, make sure that it was coming out evenly, nothing was clogged. And I want to put the new Honeywell in. Now look over here, right there. That's the in, okay? This is the adjustment for it, right where it says vent, okay? And that's the tap for the inlet pressure, and this is the tap for the outlet pressure. And remember, if this says in, of course, this is going to be out. So never put it in the opposite way. All right, take pictures of how the install is. 99% of the time, it's going to be a factory replacement, so you can put in exactly how the other one was, wire-wise and everything. But always just be cautious and know exactly what you're doing. That's the in, so that means that pipe is going to go in here, and then this end is going to go right onto the distributor. Okay, guys. So we're gonna put the sealant on the pipe, and we're gonna get this going. All right, guys. So now we have the new gas valve threaded in. We put the sealant on there. We're gonna do just the opposite now. Now we got it to where it's snug. So we're gonna put this on the opposite side. We're gonna give it one more good rotation, just so that we need this to face the opposite direction. Okay, because this here is gonna go into the unit, and we need access to that. So we're gonna spin it just another 3/4 turn. Hold that there. see. There you go. Let's go flat. Perfect. There you go. All right. So now we're all pushed in, all threaded in. Good. All right. So we fed it in. Okay, we're just going to screw it back. All right. Each one of the ports goes into the hole. Gas valve is facing us, which is good. Get that bottom corner. There we go. I'm going to have extremely strong calves by holding this gas valve up the whole time. All right, now the coolest light is this one here, but I used it so much yesterday that I killed it and never really recharged it. But it's awesome. It's one of the best things I've ever had. All right, so we're gonna reconnect the ground. We're gonna put the pipe on. I'm gonna fire this bad boy up. All right, so now I'm just gonna thread this back in. All right. It just needs to be snug. It doesn't have to be crazy. I don't want to go a full turn more. I don't want to over tighten it. So I think we're gonna be good right there. All right. Like I said, there's only 6 inches of water column coming in, which is very, very low. All right. So I think we're gonna be fine with that. We're just gonna reconnect this, check for leaks, and go from there. All right, guys, so we tied in the inlet pipe. Okay. And now what we did was I was holding this while David was continuing to turn, so we line it up perfectly right inside there, okay? This one doesn't need any Teflon or any pipe dope or anything like that, okay? Because this is a female to male. Let me turn this around. I'm not sure if you can see that. See, right here? That's the male. That's the male. Goes right into the female. You want to make sure that's nice and clean, of course. You don't want the screens on the inside to get all gacked up. Then you wonder why you're getting less gas pressure. Less gas pressure. So we're gonna make sure none of that stuff is inside before we finish up. All right, but that's the way. Right here, right in there. And then we're gonna lock it down. Okay, I'll show you. We'll get the unit up and running in 5 minutes. All right, guys, so we're just doing an old-fashioned bubble test. All right. Just got some good bubbles over here. You always can use the spray bottle. All right, and then you put it all over and see if you have any bubbles coming out. Make sure it's not too watery. All right. Gas is open. We got nothing over here. And I always touch all the pipes, even a couple ones before, because if you just touch it and you crack it, all right, you know, there's always a possibility that it's open. But once your hands go into a gas, any type of system, you're married to it. Okay, your insurance is married to it, your business is married to it. So make sure that you do your due diligence. Take the extra 2 seconds to make sure that you're all good. Because if anything blows up, it's your fault, no matter what. You're the last person that worked on it. All right, so now we're gonna fire this up and go from there. Okay, guys, so we're tied in with our manometer now because we want to make sure to test the gas pressure. So this is P1, which is the incoming gas. P2 is the outgoing gas. So on our meter right here, P1 is 7.6. P2, of course, is basically nothing, okay, because the gas valve is not open. All right. And that number is the difference between P1 and P2. Really should be 0, but over here. Anyway, so it's 7.6 is P1 incoming, and then we'll be able to test right now the outgoing is 0.02, which is really nothing. Just whatever was probably in the hose. So we're gonna start this up. All right, so we got a 3.5 to That's perfect right there. 3.5, more or less. Incoming, 6.26. It always drops once you start using the gas. So it was 710, now it's 6.4-ish. 3.49, 3.5, exactly what we want. Very good. And now we're going to also test the temperature at the supply going out, and over here at the return coming in. This over here says it should be anywhere from 25 to 55 degree rise. So we're gonna take a look there and make sure that's in. That was our problem in the beginning. One, it was fluttering because once I tried to adjust it, when we got to 3.5 or 3.48, it was fluttering. So the gas valve was shutting off at the pressure it was supposed to have. So that was a problem. So we couldn't. So in order for it to work, it had to be at a higher pressure, like 3.8, and I believe that was making this unit overheat, overfire, get too hot, and then it wasn't able to expel the gas, the heat. And we have enough our inducer motor is getting rid of the draft fast enough. It's got more than that 0.65. As long as you're at the negative 0.65 or more, that's enough to get rid of the heat, to dissipate that heat. And I made sure that the speed on the unit wasn't too low either. So we'll go from there. We'll take a look. All right. All right, guys. Everything is all good. So we're gonna wrap this up now. We just shut the machine down. We're gonna button everything back up. See you guys next time.